Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well in your parts of Canada and that everyone is doing great today. I'm just going to give everyone a minute to join. There's a slight lag sometimes in allowing our attendees into our room. If you do have a headset today, a bit of housekeeping, it is the best way to hear us. And if you can hear us and see us all right, if you can just click the wave icon, or even better, maybe let us know through the chat box where you're calling in from today for our Logan and Cache Valley webinar. Hi, Carmen. Great to hear from you. Isabel from Quebec, cool. We have a great turnout this morning, and looks like everyone can hear us. Edmonton, perfect. Hi, Mike. Hey, everyone. Perfect. Well, let's get started. We know it continues to be a real challenging time for our industry and are grateful for all of you joining us today. It is our first Talk It Tuesday of 2021, a year where we're seeing vaccines roll out. I read in Bloomberg yesterday that 132 million Americans have already been vaccinated. And I know in Canada, we're working through our vaccination rollouts, but hopefully by the third and fourth quarter of the year, we're not doing Zoom meetings. We're doing Zoom meetings, but maybe welcoming you back to Utah. I know Julie, who joins me today, who is the Queen of Logan, is super excited to have many of you come and visit her region. In case you don't know me, I'm Corey Marshall, the Account Director for Utah Office of Tourism in Canada. Today is an awesome opportunity to extend that Utah knowledge for when we're all back selling outbound travel. I have been working with Utah for 7 years and personally been to Logan. I've dined and have a soda at the famous Bluebird restaurant you're going to hear about. And I've taken some fresh turns at Utah's newest ski resort called Cherry Peak, which you're also going to learn about today. After today's webinar, I will provide Julie and my contact details to help you build itineraries that include Logan, as part of that Utah experience. If you have any questions, that same chat box where you're telling us you're calling in from Penticton in Ontario and more from Edmonton and Montreal, please go ahead and ask that question as we go. We'll either answer it in the chat box or I'll get Julie to answer it at the end of the webinar. Before I hand over to our resident expert who is calling all the way from Logan today, I want to ask you guys a few questions. And if you answer the questions correctly at this front end and the back end of the webinar, you'll be entered to win our spot prize today. And if you didn't see, our spot prize is our Lovin' Logan gift pack, which includes Cafe Ibis coffee, a Logan mug, Lazy One hot pads, official cow socks, cow keychain, photography book, and more. And we're going to find out why cows are so important to Logan in just a minute. So go ahead and answer right on the screen and click submit. So have you been to Utah? Have you been to Logan? And have you sold Logan to your clients? So go ahead and answer all three questions and then hit submit. This just gives us a bit of background of your knowledge of Logan and of Utah, of course, as well, and if you've been to visit. Looks like we're getting there. 64% have completed. A few more. All right, getting close. Cool. Well, without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to Julie Hollis-Terrell, who is the Executive Director of the Cache Valley and Explore Logan tourism destination. So, Julie.
Great. Thank you, Corey. And hello, Canada. And I see a few of you also from California in the United States. So I'm happy to have you join in as well. And it's snowy here today. And I know you guys in Canada have been freezing yourselves to death this year. So I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm wondering if you could do me a favor, and that is, the next time that you can, would you please go eat some poutine for me? Because we cannot find that around here anywhere. And meanwhile, I guess if I had to eat something for you around here from Utah, it would be green Jell-O. So we eat more Jell-O in the state of Utah than anywhere else in the country. And I don't know that that should really be a claim to fame, but you'll be getting the better end of the deal, I promise, if you actually get to eat the poutine for me. So let's get started now then with... Hey, Corey, I'm not seeing the presentation. I just need to share the screen, and we're going to start right off with a little taste of Logan with a short video.
your microphone. There we go.
Probably it helps if I, turn on mute.
That's okay. We were trying to lip read, but you're all good. You can start.
Okay, thank
pick
you.
it up from the top.
All right, sorry about that, everyone. So I was just showing you before the cover. The cover slide is just a picture of a beautiful area up Logan Canyon, which is just 5 minutes away from where I'm sitting in my office in right downtown Logan. But let me give you a little overview first about where we are in the country and where we are in the state, just so you kind of have a reference point. So you can see on the left-hand side here, the state of Utah. We are very much part of the Wild West, and Salt Lake City is in the north, where most everyone will fly into, and then you can see the very large dark red circle around Logan, and that's big because it's important, because you can recognize that Logan is the most important part of the state of Utah, at least, in my estimation. So we're located about an hour and a half north of Salt Lake City by car, so you can just pick up your rental car in Salt Lake and be on your way. And one thing that's nice too, for people who are planning a larger trip, we are about 4 hours away from Yellowstone National Park and about 3.5 hours away from Jackson, Wyoming, which is Grand Teton National Park, which is just another impressive, lovely place to visit. And I will show you a little bit about the Yellowstone Loop, another route that you might be interested in sending your guests to later on in our presentation. So let me just tell you a little bit about Logan and why I love it so much. I came here years ago to go to school at Utah State University and finish my degree, and I have been lucky enough to get to live here ever since, and I have just enjoyed it so much. So here are a few pictures and a few things that I would recommend for you to check out or if you to send your guests for them to check out. First of all, our Main Street area is kind of just like stepping back in time to, say, the 1950s. We've got lots of cute little unique shops, as well as cafes, small restaurants as well. And so just spending some time in the historic downtown area is just really lovely. You'll see the second bullet point there is the name of the restaurant that Corey referred to is the Bluebird. This is actually the oldest restaurant in the state of Utah. It's been in business since 1914. And it has this old-time soda fountain. You can see just the second photo there. And they actually are renovating that right now. So by the time your guests come here, it will just be back to its former glory. And it'll just look like this, but with more improvements. And they actually will still have a few menu items from the original menu. And that's kind of cute too. Okay. So one thing that we are famous for here in Cache Valley and in Logan in particular, and the reason why I keep saying Cache Valley is we are a high mountain agricultural valley, and we're located between two mountain ranges, and we have about 23 little towns in our valley, but Logan is the largest one. So Logan is the city central, and that's where most of your guests will be staying. And in Logan, we have our historic downtown theater district, where we have 3 theaters in one block. In 2019, between mid-June and the first week in August, we had 267 live performances in those theaters, and one across the street. And so we've got the King Lyric Theater, which is the little red one that you can see smack in the middle of that photo. That seats about 400 people and does live theater. The Utah Theater is a classic movie theater from 1924, where you can see old-time movies every weekend, all year long. And then around the corner from that, we have the magnificent Ellen Eccles Theater, which is home to the Utah Festival Opera and Musical Theater Company. And what they do is they bring performers from all over the country and the world to all perform under one roof during the summer months. And they do classic opera, but they also do Broadway shows. And we're talking people who are from the Metropolitan. They're from Broadway. They're from San Francisco Opera. And they just have all sorts of workshops and just great things going on. They are deciding this week whether or not they'll be having a season this year. But if not, we'll definitely be back next year. And that is something that you don't want to miss. All right, so I mentioned that we're a high mountain agricultural valley, and that's because our altitude is about 4,500 feet I should have converted that. I'm sorry that I didn't to meters for you. But we have been, so we have a lot of cattle here. We have a lot of dairy cows. And in fact, Logan is home to Gosner cheese, and we are the largest maker of Swiss cheese in the entire United States. So that's pretty cool. And we have a lot of ice cream products that are made here and sent out all over the country. So we have Utah State University is listed on here as the Aggie Blue Mint ice cream. And Utah State University's mascot is the Aggie. And that comes from, it was originally the Agricultural College starting in 1888. And an Aggie means a farmer. So we have the Aggie Blue Mint ice cream that they have been making and selling commercially since 1920. So 101 years. They've had a lot of practice to get it right. So we've got cheese and as I mentioned, just all those dairy things. And that's why some of the items that you have in your gift bag that the lucky winner will receive has a lot to do with cows. All right. So the picture that you see on the right here is the Logan Temple. It is for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And the people who are able to enter in there for special worship services have to be in good standing with their ecclesiastical leaders. So, but the reason that I'm pointing this out to you is because this is such an icon on in landscape here in Cache Valley, and the grounds are open to the public. And it is, you can see by the gardens, this is on just one side of the building, but they have beautiful landscape gardens and also a view over the entire valley. And so that's something that you certainly want to take advantage of while you're here. Okay, now let's talk for a minute just about our Cache Valley Foodie Trek and Signature Products Tour. We have created a tour where people can just go on their own and get samples and try tastes of truly tastes of Cache Valley, because in addition to the dairy products that we have here, we have a lot of foods that are grown here and sent out all over, including, I think you probably know what goldfish crackers are from Pepperidge Farm, those little cheesy goldfish crackers that everyone, especially 2-year-olds, love. And the factory that makes those for all of the entire Western United States is here in Cache Valley. And so when it's not COVID, they have a little store that's open where you can buy seconds and all different types of cookies that they make there as well. You can get them now, but just not at that shop. But we're anticipating that they'll be reopening soon. In addition to that, we have world-renowned coffee. We have 5th generation beekeepers here who make gourmet honey products. And when you visit, you can see a beehive behind glass and see how the bees work together. We also have hand-dipped chocolates, we have pastries, we just have so many things. It's really fun to get out and explore the community by checking out some of these things. We have some fun restaurants as well that are really affordable. Angie's Diner is a classic American diner. It's a place where you can actually clean the sink. And by that, I mean they have a banana split that is basically on steroids because it has 4 whole bananas, pounds of ice cream, all the toppings, and it's served in a kitchen sink, a smaller kitchen sink. And if you actually finish the whole thing, you get a bumper sticker that says, "I cleaned the sink" at Angie's in Logan, Utah. So you can see on here, Cafe Sabor and Elements. We do have some great restaurants here. The Logan Canyon National Scenic Byway starts about 2 blocks from where I am located right now. And I am in the historic courthouse, was where my office is located. So 2 blocks from here begins the Logan Canyon National Scenic Byway. It's about a 45-minute to an hour-long drive through a beautiful canyon with limestone rocks and all sorts of greenery, wildflowers, all sorts of birds. And there are tons of activities that you can do in the canyon. From my office, you can be hiking in just 10 minutes. And the reason why I think that is impressive is because there are very few locations anywhere where you have such great accessibility to the forest. So you can be in a hotel or having dinner downtown, and in 10 minutes, you can be in the national forest. And so you can go hiking, you can go fishing, bird watching, as I mentioned, mountain bike trails. We've got plenty of those. We have like 250 miles of trails up Logan Canyon. We also have an extensive trail system within the city of Logan for anybody who just wants to get out and be outside. It's beautiful. I put on here animal encounters. It's not much of an encounter, I guess, if you go horseback riding, but you can see from the photo, horseback riding, there's a place up Logan Canyon called Beaver Creek Lodge. And during the summer, they rent horses for horseback riding on a guided tour. And then they also have side-by-sides. You saw that in the video, and they're kind of just like that little squatty Jeep where you can just go all over. You can take a guided tour that way, or you can you can just go on your own. And you don't have to have a driver's license. That's kind of scary to do it. You just have to be 16 or older. So anybody really can take advantage of that opportunity. We have some outdoor swimming opportunities. Hiram State Park is one example of that. You can also go canoeing on the Bear River. There are places here that will rent a canoe and your life jackets and everything else for like about $20. So you can really have all sorts of outdoors experiences here. I think too, the wintertime, we've got some great opportunities right now going on. And so as you can see here, I have listed for skiing. There are a lot of people who might be coming to Salt Lake City to ski the big resorts, which is great. But as I mentioned, we're about an hour and a half north, and we're home to two very unique resorts. The first one is Beaver Mountain, and Beaver Mountain is the longest running family-owned resort in the country. And it's owned by the Seeholzer family. It began in 1939. And Marge, who is one of the owners now, she's about 76 and she has wild red hair, and she is at the ticket window. So every day when you come, you will get to meet Marge. And the thing that I love about Beaver is that everybody there feels like family. The prices are more affordable, and everybody is so nice to each other. It's awesome. And they don't have snowmaking equipment there, so everything is natural. And in fact, when you call their phone number, even year round, at the very end, Marge's voice always says, and remember, pray for snow. So I guess we do a lot of that because we're getting plenty of it. In addition to that, we have Cherry Peak Resort, and that's the newest resort in the state. Something that's really unique about Cherry Peak is they also have a tubing hill. So you come and you get to rent the inner tubes there, and you come flying down and love it. And then you look up at the big hill and you feel so sad that you have to haul your sorry carcass to the top. But they took care of that. So they have like a moving sidewalk that you just get on with a rope tow, and they take you right up to the top so you can do it again and have so much fun. So those are some of our skiing, the two ski resorts. I've also mentioned on here snowmobiling. We have the top 15 snowmobiling in the country up here in Logan Canyon, and Beaver Creek Lodge that rents the horses and also the side-by-sides in the summer rents snowmobiles in the winter. And the really cool thing about that too is that you don't have to have the winter clothes to do it. They will completely outfit you from head to toe with everything you need to keep you warm. And so you don't have to worry about packing that stuff when you come on vacation. We have several hot springs in our region that aren't too far away. So if you enjoy having a hot soak in the mineral pools, that can be done as well. Golfing, we've got a couple of really nice courses, and golfing here is really very affordable. Now I mentioned here at the top, I'm going backward through these bullets, but Logan is great for families, and the American West Heritage Center is a place where you can step back in time to a century of history in the American West. And so it focuses on from 1820 to 1920. And a lot of the things that you saw in the video also were filmed at the American West Heritage Center, where you saw the train, where you saw the kids playing pioneer games and writing with a quill pen. This is an outdoor living history museum that is in tribute to the American West. And the thing that makes it unique is that it's A, very affordable, but B, you actually get to do the activities with people who are wearing costumes that go along with the different areas they represent. A lot of other places you go and you can watch them do all this stuff, but when you come here, you can hang out with a mountain man. He will show you all the different kinds of furs that they trapped for. You get to pet them and feel what they were like. He'll show you how to set a trap. He'll show you how to write with a quill pen. You'll get to throw axes at tree stumps. In the pioneer area, you get to play some of the games you saw those kids playing, or make a rag doll. And at the turn of the century farming area, you can gather the eggs. If you wanted to learn how to milk a cow, you can even do that at a set time every day. And they really just teach history by letting you experience it yourself. They have some really big festivals that they do every year, including Baby Animal Day coming up, where you can come and pet all the baby chicks and all the baby bunnies and all the animals. And in the fall, they do a wonderful fall harvest festival. And so they've got great things going on. They are, for the most part, closed during the winter, but all the rest of the time, fantastic. It's such a great place to go and visit. And that's great for families or for groups as well. So I would highly recommend that. And let's see now. Here are some photos. On the left, you see this is a forge where you can see the blacksmith working at the American West Heritage Center. The juniper tree that's in the middle is one of the oldest living juniper trees in the world. And you can't really tell in this picture that it's actually living, but there's like this little poof of green at the top. And that is one of the hikes that we have available in Logan Canyon. You can see the Logan River on the right-hand side. And like many of you do in Canada, we have beautiful fall leaves, but this is beautiful year-round. And this is a great place for fishing. We have blue ribbon fishing here, and there are places where you can rent gear as well. Hiram State Park is at the is kind of at the south end of the valley, but that's one of the places you can go swimming outdoors and kind of get a glimpse of our mountain range right there. That's the Wellsville Mountain Range. So let me tell you, I'll show you first, actually, just a couple of our hotels that we have available. The Hampton Inn and Suites is right across the street from us. So it's bordering on the historic downtown area. So it makes it very walkable just to get to walk out your front door and come and explore the downtown area. On the right-hand side, we have the University Inn. Utah State University has this hotel on their campus. And one thing that's really cool about it is everyone who checks in gets a free scoop of Aggie ice cream. And they just have a cooler right there with different flavors available. And so everyone gets to have a taste of that. And it's really lovely because our campus has a lot of green space and area. So there are plenty of places to walk around and even explore outdoor art and sculptures there. Just lots of great things. Beaver Creek Lodge is where I was mentioning, where you can rent the snowmobiles and horses. You literally walk out the door and get on your mount or get on your snowmobile. On the right-hand side, you can see the Best Western Plus. That's just across the street from where I'm sitting as well. Now, let me just show you a couple of other brands that you will recognize. We have the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. The Comfort Inn, Town Place Suites by Marriott will be opening in 2021. So we have about 1,100 rooms here, plus we have plenty of VRBOs or Airbnbs available as well. Okay, so I think I'm just about done, and Corey's like, oh, good. Is this my last slide? Because I can't really figure that out. Nope, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna finish fast. This is an illustration of the Yellowstone Loop. And we, as I mentioned, Salt Lake City is the great starting point, but you can come up with, we have different itineraries that are available that we can provide information for people who are going to be planning a trip that would incorporate West Yellowstone and Yellowstone National Park, as well as Jackson. You could spend many days exploring this area, and we'll show and tell you exactly how you can do that most effectively. And all your clients will love you so much because you will show them the best time ever. Here are just a few highlighted photos from the Yellowstone Loop. You can see some bison. This Wellsville Mountains, this is right out my window. Yellowstone National Park, that's a beautiful charismatic spring there. Bear Lake, that's at the end of the National Byway where I live. So the 45 minutes away is Bear Lake. Salt Lake City is obviously the beginning city of your trip. And then we have Spring Hollow up Logan Canyon. This is about a 12-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now. So I know that this weather is not so fantastic this time of year, and you're not enjoying it either probably so much, but I did want to show you my favorite snow hat. This is my favorite snow hat. And do you see it has these pom-poms right here of snowmen? And so I always wear this when I am snow blowing the driveway. And usually when I snow blow the driveway, I'm also singing at the top of my lungs, which is a really weird thing that you now know about me. But there you have it. And I think that that you'll be singing at the top of your lungs if you come to Logan and visit, because you'll probably love it so much. You just won't even want to leave. So be happy to have you. Thank you so much for taking time to tune in. And I hope you'll stick around to answer the questions, because these are the Logan cow socks. And who doesn't want a pair of Logan cow socks? Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Julie. You're getting comments on your hat already, which is cool. One question has come through, so we're going to make you hang out for a little while longer. And guys, if you have any other questions, please go ahead and type them in the box and we'll get them answered. But one question has come up about with Cherry Peak. Mia sounds like she's been to or skied at Brian Head before. Is it similar in size and terrain to a Brian Head, or do you know? Or
I think it's smaller than Brian Head, okay. But I'd have to actually look at the comparison, because Brian Head's clear on the opposite side of the state from me, so I don't know a ton about that resort in particular. Sorry, but I could find out.
Cool, that's all right. I've already provided the Cherry Peak and Ski to Beeve links, and we'll follow up tomorrow, guys, with the links as well, just so you have access at your desktop, including, of course, a link to this recording in case you want to share it with any colleagues. But yeah, and then Ski Utah and Visit Utah both have comprehensive ski lift information and terrain sizes of all of our ski resorts, so other two great sites to access. I don't see any other questions coming through, but feel free, guys, to go ahead and keep asking questions or commenting on Julie and her hat. I know she loves those. In the meantime, we do have questions for you. So I'm going to put those on the screen now. And these are the ones you must ask correctly. And Julie did refer to in her presentation to be eligible to win our Lovin' Logan gift pack. And of course, including those fabulous cow socks. So yes. Question one, and go ahead and answer them right on the screen, is what is the name of the oldest restaurant in Utah, which happens to be located right in Logan? Question two is name two wintertime activities you can do in Logan Canyon: skiing and snowmobiling, tubing and skiing, or running and skiing. Question three, where can you step back in time to experience the life of an 1820s mountain man? Question four, what self-guided adventure will get you a true taste of Cache Valley, the Cache Valley Foodie Trek and Signature Product Tour, the Sportsman Tour, or the Logan and Cache Tour? And once you've answered all four questions, please go ahead and hit that submit button. Some other great questions coming through. Can you take the train from Salt Lake City to Logan?
You cannot. You can take the train to Ogden, but that's still about 40 minutes away from us.
Okay.
That's the farthest north that train runs.
Okay. Good answer. When is the best time to travel and explore Utah and Logan?
Personally, I think anytime from late spring to fall. So to the end of October, I would say, the nicer weather will probably begin about that first week in May. So truthfully, those are the times that I would want to be here.
Great. I think also from our perspective as the Utah Office of Tourism, from a Canadian standpoint, Logan's a great stopping point as snowbirders are traveling to and or from on a self-drive basis their own second homes in Arizona or California. So definitely consider Logan on your itineraries as you're coming through Utah, maybe for a night in northern Utah before they head south and do an additional night in southern Utah to kind of extend their trip.
Corey, I also saw a question on here from Mia about the lift ticket cost.
Yeah.
At Beaver, it's $50 for a day, and they have 4 lifts there. So that's the size of it.
So they could ski 4 days based on Mia's comments there at, out of Logan for the cost of 1 day at Big Sky, basically, by the looks. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can ski for a week in Logan. And also the other one that came in, the best lodge is Beaver Creek Lodge. It's literally across the highway and up half a mile from the ski resort. So that's the place you'd want to stay.
Great. Awesome. Cool. Any other question, guys? She's there. We already got a client sold there, and just like I said, we'll follow up tomorrow with a link to today's webinar. You'll have Julie and my contact details to get in touch with, and we'll also announce our prize winner for our Lovin' Logan gift pack. Again, we thank everyone for participating today, for your engagement, and for tuning in for our Talk It Tuesday series. We will be coming out with a few more, so watch your inbox for the next updates on more that Utah has to offer. In the meantime, Julie and I want to leave you with one final video to experience a little bit more about Logan. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we will be in touch.
Thanks, everybody.